Okay, this is a how-to fly video for the Cheerson CX10 quadcopters. This is how to get started for somebody who probably doesn't have any experience at all, like me. When I opened this up the other day, I took a look at the manual and I was having trouble. Well, first of all, it's printed really small, but I don't have the first idea about these things, and it's not really, well, it's intuitive, but unless you get a few things right, you can have a lot of trouble. So I couldn't find my answers in here. I went to the internet and I looked around, and while I found some review sites and guys flipping around and taking videos, I didn't see anything how to start right from go. So that's what I'm going to try and do here. When you open it up, when I got it out, what I had was this: the controller, the quadcopter. We had this charging cable, and then there was also spare propellers for good reason. The controller has what we're going to be concerned with is the on-off switch, the throttle, which is the left hand, moves up and down, makes the copter go up and down, increases and decreases the speed. So this controls the altitude. This controls the movement, right, left, forward, and backward. And there's one other function, this throttle, that we're going to be concerned with, and we'll talk about that later. There's other controls on here too. This stuff does other things, but this is what we need to know to really get started. We don't have to worry about any of these others to learn how to just take it off and hover. So the easy part, this has got batteries in it, AAA's, 2 of them in the back. This has a battery built in. To tell you the truth, I'm not even sure it's some little battery. So it comes with a cable. The cable plugs in to the side near the switch. You just have to figure out which way it goes. The same cable charges this one. Interestingly enough, it plugs in the other way around. So get it plugged in. This goes into the USB port of the computer. When this gets plugged in, it glows orange, and once the copter is fully charged, the light goes out, and theoretically you've got a full charge. So we got the batteries in the controller. Batteries. This is all fully charged. Now, next thing I need to do is inspect this thing and make sure that it's ready for flight. Then that means that propellers aren't bent, and that it doesn't have any fluff. When you fly it under the couch or crash it in the corner, it falls on the floor and it's liable to wind stuff around these little armatures that are hooked to the motor that drive the propellers. And if that happens, it's going to affect the way these things spin, and the thing won't act right. So check those, make sure there's no fluff on them. I don't think you really have to take them all off, but just sort of give them a good look and see that they're all nice and clean. Incidentally, these have got, on the bottom of the propellers, there's a number with a letter attached, and it'll be either an A or a B, and it's absolutely critical that you replace an A with an A and a B with a B, because the pitch is not different. There are 2 different pitches, and if you have the wrong propeller in the wrong place, it's not going to fly right. It won't take off. It'll flip. As a matter of fact, I had this thing so screwed up last night that they were all pushing this way. So I guess I could have flown it upside down. But anyway, so we're going to inspect it for that, make sure it's all set. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn the copter on, and that's easy. Little switch right here, on off. So we switch it on, and when I switch it on, there's going to be some flashing lights. Okay, so these are red. They call it red. This is blue, and I'm gonna set it down with the red lights facing me, so that when I start to control it, because this one's the throttle, this is the throttle, this is the directional, and if I push the directional that way, I want the copter to go that way. If I had it this way, if I push the directional this way, the copter's going that way. I'm going to be all mixed up. I suppose once I get used to it, I'm going to be able to look at the lights and I'm going to intuitively know. But just to start out like this. Now I'm going to turn, and it's kind of, I found out that it seems to be important to kind of do it in this order in order for it to connect properly. And so the next thing I'm going to do is turn this thing on. So copter, turn that on first. Turn this on. Now look at the rate of blinking has changed. So so we're gonna, what we need to do next is I need to establish the link between the copter and the controller, and we do that by moving the throttle all the way forward and all the way back, and you'll hear it beep when I do that, and you'll also notice the lights stop blinking. So there, now we know the link's been established, the lights have stopped blinking, we're almost ready to go. But there's one other thing we need to do, and there's one other function of this I want to talk about, and it's by pressing down on this joystick, pressing it into the controller, it'll beep and tell me what mode it's in. It's like 1 is for beginner, 2 is for intermediate, and 3 would be for an advanced. And I want to switch it to 3, so you'll hear it beep twice. And whenever you start it, it always seems to be that one. Now we're going to, there, 3. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm calibrating the gyro, so I'm going to move the left hand, the throttle joystick down and all the way to the left, and the right hand joystick is going to go all the way to the left and up. And you'll see it blinking, and now it's stopped, and now it's kind of ready to go. So all I have to do is give it the go, and it'll take off and probably fly around the table here. So that's fun, and especially because now I know that which way to have the darn thing, and what happens if the propellers get mixed up. Now, one other thing, when I crash this again, I usually, what I do is just do a quick like this, and that will reset the gyro again. I've been flying it on 1, so I push it in until it beeps once, and for me that seems to be an easier way to that seems to be an easier way to do it, because it's not quite so so touchy. But also the thing, I mean, I just flew it into my fingers. These things hurt. I flew it into my head the other day, and I guess my daughter's sending me, you can get a guard that'll go around there and it'll keep me from running it into my head. But that's about it. And so it's a lot of fun. And I think maybe 20 minutes at a time, and then leave it alone so I don't teach myself any bad habits. So that's about it. You know, this will be fun, and maybe once I'll outgrow this and I'll move to something a little bigger. I know some of them are really nice, but at this point I can't see spending $1,200 or $1,500 when I can get this one free for Christmas. So there you go. I hope this is helpful.